the paradigm shift that needs to happen. I'm going to use a friend of mine who I've not yet met, except for the internet, and who's a pathologist. Everything she learns in this society is about profit. She's focused on being true with her spirit to healing. Maybe she can heal that cough. That's from riding a bike. But anyway, the cultural characteristics that she learns is all about her role as a pathologist has to be secondary to profit. So any firm that she joins is going to be geared towards basing its vitality on profit. So any free inclinations she has with her creativity and pathology is going to be secondary to the firm, the organization, even if it's non-profit, to first achieving money, constant flow of money that benefits and is the primary purpose of the firm. Using pathology or curing diseases, the science of it has to be secondary to or geared towards money, geared towards making money first, and geared towards healing and curing second. So anytime curing something crosses and opposes the first objective, which is getting money, they will oppress her ability to find cures for diseases which have been utilized by the medical industry for profiting. So the whole mentality is that when a pathologist like Ann Mills is brought on, they'll pay her what she's worth and probably more, but they'll do that to make sure she doesn't cure anything. they'll have her do minor stuff or make discoveries that are slanted or twisted away from actually curing anything. So basically, comparing that scenario to the scenario in Nazi Germany, where debt was not part of society. And let me straighten that out. If you borrow $10 from the bank, you pay that $10 back. So that debt scenario is dead. It was created and solved and didn't get handed off to anybody else. So if 100 people at one time in Nazi Germany borrowed $10 from the bank, their debt of $10 back would never spread beyond themselves. So in that way, the whole financial scenario or financing and financiers and economy was very stable and very controlled and very balanced, where when somebody would borrow $10 for something, all the other people that were already established in the economy, private industry was very, very much alive in Adolf Hitler's Germany, and that was in conjunction with state-run and state-owned industries. So it's kind of weird. You hear negative blasting about government-controlled industries or corporations, and there's no truth to that in Nazi Germany, because when the government owned an industry or a corporation, that only further empowered the private owners of industry and corporations to be more profitable and stable. So to make the long story short, the whole need to gear a corporation or a type of profession towards profiting was not there. It was eliminated by the $10 borrowed, $10 paid back, because that there was no selling that loan as a debt, as it was debt, where if you borrow $10 in the United States from a bank, you have to pay an interest along with the $10, so you have to pay $12.50 back. And when the bank loans the $10 and they tack on that interest for being owed $12.50 back, they can sell that debt to another bank or to someone else in the form of a bond, in the form of a hedge fund, and that gets into a messy scenario, and that's what Hitler stopped. That stuff didn't go on. So there was no fluctuations, there was no ups and downs, no traction or contraction, retraction. So the whole mode of any type of profession, thus any type of corporation geared around a type of profession, was never geared towards the politics of money. So politics in the United States is always geared around profiting. Anytime you say the word politics or politician, it's immediately associated or automatically associated with profiting. The sole reason for politics in the United States, or that finance banking country, is for profiting. When you eliminate the purpose of profiting from a type of corporation or profession, the only main objective, primary objective, is the purpose of the profession. So Anne would, in Nazi Germany, would be part of an organization of doctors and pathologists that want to heal. And the funding for their operations would be in abundance. And that's how all the amazing technology out of Nazi Germany came to be. Capital and funding was in abundance because no debt scenarios of interest or debt creation existed. You borrow $10 from the bank, you pay $10 back. There's no expansion of that debt. There's no selling of that debt. There's no contaminating society with a deficit because there's no widening of the $10 debt, as there's no interest tacked onto it. In fact, the method of the MIFO bonds by Adolf Hitler and Schacht, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Edgemolar Schacht, created the MIFO bonds so that the government would pay interest to the people that borrowed money. Or if a corporation borrowed money and they employed people, the state, Nazi state, would pay them interest for doing that. So it was actually reversed. So if you borrow $10 and you hire people with that $10 that you borrowed, the Nazi government would pay you 6% interest on the loan that you took out. So you'd pay less back than the $10. That's not exactly how it worked, but that's pretty much the main way that worked. Everything was reversed in Nazi Germany. Everything was reversed for the purpose of the profession, or for the purpose of the talent that you had. Artificial blood was invented and exists. That's exact to natural blood of the human being. All versions of the blood, all types of blood. Every type of blood that exists was invented in Nazi Germany and used